Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, did Stephen A. Smith go too far with his response? So that's the topic I'm going to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, make sure you go ahead and check out Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community, place where you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games, and so many other cool things. So if you guys are interested in that, sure to check that out. We have that link in the description below. And also make sure you go ahead and click the join button to join the channel and to receive loyalty badges from our channel. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So yesterday we were there minding our business, and by minding our business, we were literally minding our business, Marco and I, and we were wrapping up the day. We were trying to publish a video, the video that we published the second video we published yesterday. And while doing that, I quickly got a notification on my phone that says Stephen A. Smith is responding to Kwame Brown. So I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta see this. And here's the reason why I said this. Number one, obviously, we all know this back and forth that's kind of been taking place here between Kwame Brown and pretty much everyone in media. And I said it back then, probably a week ago. I said, listen, this thing is gaining so much attention that after a while they're going to have to address him. They're going to have to respond to him. Now, Skip and Shannon, they touched on it briefly, but at that time it had nothing to do with them. I don't think Kwame Brown mentioned anything about Skip Bayless or Shannon Sharp. So I don't think they touched it for that reason. I think they just they touched on it for one segment on their show. I think when he was having the issues with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and then they moved on and they haven't said anything about it since. And I don't think they're going to say anything about it, to be quite honest with you again. But Stephen A. Smith, I said, ultimately he's going to have to respond to him because as we just said about 2-3 videos ago, where we said sometimes standing up for yourself is the best thing you can do. Sometimes you hurt yourself by not saying anything, especially if somebody's out there saying things about you. If you just feel like, okay, I'm doing the noble thing, I'm not going to say anything, I'm going to take the high road. Yeah, that works up until a point. And then what ends up happening is if you don't respond for yourself, speak up for yourself and others do, what happens? The people that talk for you end up they kind of turn you into a caricature of whatever they think you would be thinking or whatever they think you would say in a situation like that. We heard a lot of that about Colin Kaepernick. Why didn't he speak out? Why didn't he speak out? Why didn't he speak out? And before you know it, other people started to say what they thought he was thinking or what they thought he would say, right? So ultimately, I thought that Stephen A. Smith had to come out and address it. I just didn't believe that he was going to dedicate a segment to an entire segment of his show, Stephen A's World on ESPN, to it. So I immediately said, Marco, man, let me call you back. Let me check out this video. So I watched the video, and it was incredible. So for the people that didn't see it, what we're going to do is we're going to put together a compilation of different sound bites from the video, because again, remember, we don't own that content, so we're not going to play the video itself. So we're going to put together like a compilation of highlights, a compilation of the things that he said in his response, and then we're going to get back to you guys. So before we go too far, take a listen to some of the things that Stephen A. Smith had to say about Kwame Brown in his response that we've all been waiting for.
I didn't want to have to do this, but he made me. Look, I don't have a single negative thing to say about Kwame Brown, the person. Nothing personal. Never have. And no one out here has been attacking him personally either. That includes Gilbert Arenas, who did not attack him personally. It includes Steven Jackson, who did not attack him personally. It includes Matt Barnes, who he really got personal about, and Matt Barnes never said a word. It doesn't include Charlamagne the God either, nor Dr. Boyce Watkins. He didn't say anything bad about Kwame either. Nor did Michael Wilbon deserve Kwame Brown coming at him. But Kwame Brown's been getting personal with everybody these days, talking a whole bunch of smack, saying we don't support black men. Really? Really? Please. The only negative thing anybody ever said about Kwame Brown is that he couldn't play a lick of basketball. Newsflash, that wasn't a lie. When you put yourself and you put your game out there in the best league in the world, people can comment on it. because you're putting your talents on public display. No one ever said anything about you, Kwame Brown, personally. Every single comment has been about your game. Nothing personal. I'm not gonna call you a scrub. I'm gonna roll with my man Jalen Rose and others. Okay, we'll refrain. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams. No scrub, no bust. We're not gonna say that. What we can say is that, guess what? Compared to other 7-footers who have played in the NBA, you weren't very good. Is that okay? Now, I know you're looking for attention, but what does it say that you're getting more attention in 2 weeks, ranting all over social media, than you've received in your entire 13-year career? But you know what you are? I said it then, and I'm gonna say it now, because it's true. You're a brother that wasn't that good of a basketball player on the NBA level. That doesn't make us criminals. We get paid to critique the game of basketball. It was going on long before you arrived. It's gonna be going on long after you're gone, long after I'm gone. There's a whole bunch of people, white, black, and otherwise. We ain't just talking about black athletes, we talking about athletes, period, no matter who they are. What's the difference between you and them? Evidently, they can take it, and you can't.
Now, in that soundbite, Stephen A. Smith says a number of things. And let me just quickly say this. ESPN published that video. That video probably has, now last time I checked, had about 800,000 views. So that video is going to get over 1 million views within a 24-hour cycle, just to show you the level of interest in it. So he went into the video. In his response, he said a few things. He said that, listen, I never made it personal. You made it personal. He said, I was talking about your basketball game, or the lack thereof, on the court, right? So he said that. He said, you went in there, started talking about people's family members, started saying this and about this, taking some personal shots at, at different people. And he said, I kept it inbounds. Now, at the end of his response video, he did take some direct shots at Kwame Brown. Not shots, but he addressed him directly. And I think ultimately what he said at the end was, listen, you just can't take the criticism. Other people have been in a position similar to you. They've been criticized and they took it on the chin. And you basically couldn't deal with it for whatever reason. I think at the end of it, that's what he said. And let me just say this. I don't think he's going to touch on this topic again. I don't think he's going to touch on it. I think what's going to happen is Kwame Brown is going to talk about it. Other people in sports media and media in general are going to talk about it like we are, but I don't think you're going to hear a response from Stephen A. Smith again. I don't think you're going to hear Shannon Sharpe or Skip Bayless comment on this topic again. I don't think you will. I think they've said their piece and they're going to move on. That's what I think. Now, the funny thing about that video was this, or the interesting thing rather, when I clicked on the video, when you guys go look for the video yourself and you hunt it down and you see it, when I looked at the like to dislike ratio, about 65% of the people actually liked the video. Now, I don't know if they like the fact that, okay, let me like the video because I want to see it, maybe just out of adrenaline and they click the like button, or they liked what Stephen A. Smith said. I don't know what it is, right? I'm just kind of sharing the information with you. But I was surprised to see that the like to dislike ratio wasn't, more people ended up, like maybe 6 out of every 10 people ended up liking the video, versus I thought it was going to be like a 50-50 split, or it would be the inverse of that. So overall, here's my takeaway from this situation. I think Stephen A. Smith ultimately had to say his piece, which he did, and he did that in the video. Number one. Number two, I think Kwame Brown is going to come back and have a response video and go out and have say his piece. I've heard some other athletes come out, former NBA players like Kenyon Martin, come out and give their response to what Stephen A. Smith said. Some people felt that it was childish. Some people thought it was funny. Whatever it was, for me, I think that you're not going to hear again from Stephen A. Smith and the big people in media. I think you will continue to hear from Kwame Brown, and I think this thing is going to play out for as long as it plays out, until the next big thing happens. That's just the world we live in. You know, different things are going to happen, and the people's attention will shift ultimately. Election season, there was nothing more important than election season. Nothing. Everybody's attention was glued to that, and then it moved on to the next thing. So where this thing goes ultimately, I don't know. I think it's going to depend on where Kwame Brown ultimately wants to take it, to be quite honest with you, and only he knows where he wants to take it. Only he knows what his ultimate message is going to be, right? If he wants to make it into, if he wants to formalize it and turn it into a show, I don't know what his message is going to be. That's up to him for him to do. That's his decision. It has nothing. It's not my decision. So what I want to know from you guys is quite simple. What do you think about Stephen A. Smith's response? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.